What is going on, everybody? My name is Ciara Lawler. Welcome back to our week of Movie Mondays. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the movie news from around the world.
He mixed up the intros again. It's not like it's an important week or anything, Connor.
That's what it is, though. I'm so scrambled with all of the juicy news we've been getting.
We've got all of these faxes in of all of these announcements coming out recently. We're trying to collate all these pages together.
People said to get rid of the fax machine. We said no, it's coming back.
People said stop having it on during the recordings. It's ruining the audio.
I just have to dial up to my internet here. I'll be back in a second. So, Shaun, this is Movie Mondays. We talk all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and generally just have a bit of a chat about everything to do with film. But as I said, it is a pretty big week. So San Diego Comic-Con has happened. Happened over the weekend. We will admit we are recording this on Sunday. So if any news breaks after this, then we are just dumb and we just could not record on Monday.
Yet, if any big trailers or anything leak, I mean, we'll get to it, but there's enough to talk about regardless.
There's so many trailers.
We can't pack any more in.
I was like, we could do a whole episode of just us going back to back on trailer reviews one by one. I think people would just tune out. They do anyway, but to the higher extent.
Yeah, but they turn the volume down and leave the episode playing like good listeners do.
That's what my mum does. Shaun, there was, as I said, lots of news, so didn't really know where to start, but I felt like we should start with a trailer because we've got 3 of them to get to at the minute. I just said some might drop as the week progresses. Normally what happens is they like to play the first trailer in Hall H and have like nobody see it, and then it definitely leaks by Tuesday, and then they release it properly on Thursday.
Yeah, because all it means is that the first thing that most audiences see of the film is like grainy, low resolution footage that someone captured on their phone. We'll see what happens there.
What I would also say is I think this might be the least ready we've ever been for like a week like this. It feels like I just have not had a chance to even like properly digest it. I've just watched the trailers and I'm like, right, let's talk about it.
Let's roll with that.
You do the full nerd thing where you like delve into it. You're like, what does this Reddit thread think of this?
I think there's too much to delve into though. There's so much announced and so much happening. I can't keep track of it all, genuinely.
I'm just trying to live my life. I'm just having cereal.
I have shit to do outside of these movies, I'll be honest.
So look, we got to start off with a superhero trailer, Shaun. This might become a trend. Because Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Now this is a DC trailer amongst all of the Marvel things that dropped, but we did get a Shazam trailer just in amongst them. So, I mean, I will admit, I just seen you watch this trailer about 65 seconds ago.
Just before I started recording, yeah.
And God. I got a live reaction. I don't know if you'll get a career out of it because it's mostly, okay.
It's okay. I don't think I like this.
I remember that. Because so, Shaun, you've seen the trailer. Go on, give us your thoughts.
First of all, I forgot that Shazam 1 came out and set up a sequel.
I forgot it happened.
Completely forgot it happened. That movie's fine. I don't think this movie looks very good. The whole premise being that Billy Batson, the 15-year-old who turns into Shazam, is having an identity crisis because all of the rest of his family are superheroes. Also, they mentioned The Flash in this, and they show a clip of The Flash with no one's face.
Rough times. Why would you throw that in the trailer?
Why? It's the easiest thing in the world to cut out. Just mention Jason Momoa instead.
Just mention Aquaman and Batman. You don't even have that Batman anymore. Just mention the two of them. Nobody's going to ask any questions. Ezra's got a bit of...
Like, there's a Batman Batarang in the first Shazam. Just have him hold that and be like, there's a Batman, and there
Perfect.
You go. It just looks like more of the same. It's going to be Shazam fighting various grey gods throughout the city.
What we should also mention is that Shaun, before we started recording, said, I don't want to be negative this week after seeing Shazam's trailer. And I think that's where we're coming from. We don't want to be negative, but if I remember our review of the first one, it was Jesus, that is the most, it's grand film we've ever seen, and I've never thought of it since.
No, and...
Nothing against Zachary Levi. I'm sure he's a lovely man. Put in a performance.
Nothing against anyone involved in that movie. Like, they're all doing the best they can. But there's just... It just doesn't appeal to me for whatever reason. I like the suits. I think the suits are good and colourful and comic booky and fun.
They're neat.
Yeah. But it feels like... I think we said this about Shazam, the original Shazam, that it feels like a movie that was made in 2012 about superheroes.
Yes, and look, maybe it's not made for us. Maybe it's made for people who are younger than us. That's also fine. So, but we can't review it as 16-year-olds. We can only review it as us now.
No, because we're only able to travel into the future. We haven't worked
exactly.
Out the past
I'm
yet.
4, but Shaun, watching this, I cannot I could not agree more with how you watched it. I watched it like an hour before, and I remember just watching it, and I think I was like eating popcorn at the time, and just like slowly just eating it, lying down on the couch, going, "Yeah, that's." I mean, it's happened. It's there.
Yeah.
The lads are putting in an effort. The main issue I had with the first one was Asher Angel, who plays young Shazam, young Billy Batson, and Zachary Levi, who plays old Billy Batson, are in 2 different movies. They are not the same human being. They don't act in the same way, and are in no way related whatsoever, but they're meant to be the same person.
Yeah, no, it's like Billy Batson disappears into some existential void, and then charismatic Zachary Levi comes out and starts Shazamming. Like, it's like they swap places.
Also, Helen Mirren's in this movie, and there's a mention of Fast and Furious. Now, this is a
deep cut.
This is a deep cut now, Shaun, because Fast and Furious, Helen Mirren is in Fast and Furious, the movies.
Interesting.
So, if Billy Batson has seen, so he knows that's Jason Statham's mother in those movies.
What if he's only seen the first? No, because he's 15.
Seen Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, he's just seen Tokyo Drift. He loves Han. It's my one
I'm expecting good things for him.
Oh, yeah, it's all going to turn out well for this lad. Yeah, look, it's just very weird. There's a lot of pause for laughter moments in this trailer.
Yes, there is.
If that's how many's in the trailer, I can only assume the movie is going to be exhausting to watch with them.
So my point was, so the whole idea is there's a family, you got a super family, and they've got super problems, Shaun. And so you got a baddie. You got a baddie that comes down, Helen Mirren, and she's dressed like Rita Repulsa, and she's like, look, I'm gonna kill the fucking world. Like, I'm gonna fucking end this. And then Shazam and the Shazam family are like, hey, hang on, no, but they're not together. And so I'm assuming the end of the movie is that they come together, but isn't that the end of the first movie? That's
the exact end of the first movie.
So maybe they split apart. Maybe they realise they're all dickheads and they hate each other. They're stronger apart than they are together. Now, that would be a plot twist.
But don't all of the powers of the family come from Shazam? Like,
yeah, they all split
conduit for them.
Yeah, they split it between them.
He can take those back at any time, right? Right?
I would like to see that, where they all just go back to being normal children.
Yeah, and then I don't like.
And if they start on him, we just watch Zachary Levi, the man, beat up children actors, and as they're like swinging out of him to try and get back the powers.
Just like a vertical video backstage on the set of Shazam: Fury of the Gods.
Helen Mirren looking shocked.
He's just like, oh my god, I haven't seen
really
violence like
him.
this since I was in Fast and the Furious.
7 or 8 or whatever it was.
Whichever one of them it was. Also, a lot of the, like, this happened in the first Shazam as well, is that there's no real spectacle. Like, a lot of the scenes just take place in a street.
Yes.
Or on picnic benches in this case, or like there's just not a whole lot going on with it.
Yeah, and it's, I think what's really impacted this movie is that, look, I'm assuming there's probably some people that like the first one, and as I said, we didn't hate the first one. First one's fine, personally. But what I would say is, I think Black Adam coming out has actually even hindered this more, due to the fact that The Rock is The Rock, and I mean, I don't know how charismatic Zachary Levi is, but if The Rock is in a movie that's very similar, he's got a lightning bolt on his chest, and he's got superpowers and a cape.
There'll be some furious gods in both movies, I would say.
Yeah, and so, but in this one, it's a bit shinier. So I don't know if the shiny works as well.
No. I also don't know where this sits with the DC universe. Shazam's all...
Stop even thinking about it. That Batman doesn't even exist.
No, let's not delve into that. But like, because Shazam's always just kind of been the odd stepchild who's like kind of related to all the rest of them, but they put no focus on him.
Yeah, I mean, like, so the Flash, I can also assume they probably won't be focusing on moving forward. So they only have really Jason Momoa. And I mean, you could do Jason Momoa and Zachary Levi in a movie together, but that's a very weird Justice League that I've never seen that lineup of two before.
It's like they try and do World's Finest, but it's Shazam and Aquaman.
Gal Gadot is there. She could do stuff.
Yeah, she could crop up and sing Imagine or something like that.
Oh yes, they're just beating the shit out of each other.
Just reduce her acting career down to that one stupid fucking video she did.
That's actually, you have her doing the narration, singing Imagine, Zachary Levi beating up children on the set of Shazam. I would watch it. It
does write itself. You're correct.
The drama is there. But yeah, the trailer came out. This is the first trailer. We probably need to learn a bit more of what they're going to be doing, what's going to be the plot of the film.
We could do that, or what if we just didn't watch this one?
What if we just left it?
We just said, no, we're not doing it. I'm having a breakdown.
I think you're having an existential crisis ever since Thor.
Maybe I'm like, oh, the thing I like doesn't not bring the same joy.
Maybe it's not as good.
It's me. It has to be me. I'm the problem.
No, it is the kids who are wrong. So, Shaun, we got to move on from DC because, look, there's a lot of Marvel news that we want to get into. And first and foremost,
moved on from DC, Connor, by the way.
Pretty big news this week, and I would say is one of the biggest news we've had in quite a while. That is that Marvel have announced their Phase 5 lineup, and they've announced a whole bunch of stuff in regards to all Phase 4, Phase 5, Phase 6, what's coming up, and what they're even calling it.
Yeah, which this is both good and hilarious to me. So, like, good because it's nice to know where this is going to. A lot of the stuff that has been announced, I am excited for. But hilariously, like, I just love how Phase 4 seems to have been written on the back of a napkin. And then, like, Kevin Feige pulled it out of his pocket and was like, oh, what's this going on? Then he's like, we'll just do a new phase. We'll just announce 2 more phases. So,
look, the phase is called Multiverse Saga. So, obviously, Infinity Saga is Phase 1 to 3, and that's all those movies. Yeah. Then Phase 4 comes out. We've repeatedly said, well, we're not special. Everyone, I would assume, has repeatedly said, I mean, they're good, but
they're just kind of doing stuff, aren't
they? What are we doing? What's the goal here, lads? What are we doing?
If you will, end game of this.
What is the Avengers end game of it all, is what we say.
The Avengers Infinity War of this.
Part 1. Then Part 2 end game of it all. And so now they've revealed that the phase, all these 3 phases, 4, 5 and 6, will be called the Multiverse Saga, which, I mean, cool, but I can't. Yeah, like, it definitely means they started it, and then they were like, "Fuck, we don't have a name." What do we call it? What's
the central concept behind all of this? That we.
But is it the central concept? We've kind of just barely touched on it. We did a lot in Loki, but never really took advantage of that.
We had that Doctor Strange movie, I suppose. Yeah, that's 2.
He was sad for a bit. Then he went to one different world.
Then he was, he didn't. It was more of a one singular multiverse. I don't know, because given what it's leading up to, which is Secret Wars, like, you could have called it like the Incursion Saga or something like that.
Ooh, that's not bad.
Yeah, which is a similar concept. It's the universe is crashing together, but it's just name aside. Multiverse Saga is fine.
So, I mean, look, we're not going to get caught up on the name. It just made me laugh that it definitely was like, oh, we may go backtrack. Yeah, it was always called the Multiverse Saga. Like, we had that locked in, so we did.
Can I do something very difficult and describe something visual, but that is terrible to me? It's the worst thing.
Yes, I cannot wait to see this.
So, they had they had Phase 4 up on screen, right?
Yeah.
Then the word phase fades out, so it's just IV, Roman numerals.
Oh, here we go.
And then the I fades out, so it's just V.
Yeah.
So that's 5 in Roman numerals. And then a line appears on the other side of the V, making the Roman numeral of 6, right? And then the word multiverse fades in.
Existential crisis. I cannot stress enough how much this man's on the edge.
And then so the I and V makes sense, it's in the word multiverse, but then the extra line to make the 6 is just the start of the capital E, and the other 3 lines have to fade in, and it's a really ham-fisted way of doing it.
You're more annoyed about the designers, graphic design. Lads,
I don't know why that stuck with me, but I had to voice it.
Who did the effects on this? The after effects. This needs to be worked on, lads. Easy transition.
Just put a 6 somewhere. It's fine. No one gives a shit.
So, in terms of Phase 5, we have now learned that the Phase 5 lineup of the MCU will consist of Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, Disney Plus's Secret Invasion, Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Good.
Echo.
Fine.
The Marvels.
Yeah, looking forward to that, actually. That's going to be
Loki Season 2.
Pretty good.
Blade.
Actually really good as well.
Ironheart.
Actually, yeah, another good one.
Agatha, Coven of Chaos.
Could not give a shit.
Captain America, New World Order.
Yeah, that'll be good.
An 18-episode first season of Daredevil Born Again.
That's actually quite cool.
And
I like
Thunderbolts.
And Thunderbolts. So, across the board, pretty happy with all of those announcements.
Yeah. A lot of 7 out of 10s. Lot of things that are just, I think they're going to be good, but if they're not, it's fine.
That's the thing, is that I want them to be as good as, 7 out of 10s used to be in the MCU.
I think what's happening, Shaun, is you want to recapture the magic of your youth.
Yeah, I think that might be it. I want to go into a cinema at fucking 14 and watch Iron Man again or whatever.
I mean, like, this is the fucking best.
At that time. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I think it's just a lot, I think, to process.
Maybe it's actually too much of a good thing. Like, they've given us all this stuff and I'm like, oh fuck, this is, holy shit, this is a lot.
How do I deal with this?
Wow. I can only take so much chocolate. I'm going to die in this chocolate.
And Phase 4, if I'm correct, is ending with Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, in November.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we're straight into Phase 5, which that's a pretty stellar lineup, I will say. Like, there's old stuff coming back, but there's also new properties that I'm really excited to see. Like Blade, especially, is going to be class.
Like Secret Invasion, like you have Guardians of the Galaxy, that's normally a lock-in for pretty good. Conclusion of Phase 4 is consisting of She-Hulk on Disney Plus and Black Panther. So that's the last
we got trailers for both of those.
We did, yeah. And so, I mean, it makes sense. Like, Black Panther's coming out in November. When's She-Hulk coming out? September?
August, I think.
August. And so, like, they're obviously going to push them the most. But the announcement that all of those movies are happening, along with a Fantastic Four movie that is down for Phase 6, technically then, in 2024, I think, by that magic.
I think that's it, yeah. I think that is the lineup.
But not only that, because Phase 6, Shaun, will have 2 Avengers movies in 2025.
Yes, it will.
Yes. And so, I mean, very similar to Infinity War and Endgame. Like, they ended out the Infinity Saga. So they've got 2 Avengers films slated for May and November of 2025.
6 months apart.
Yes.
Like, that's pretty, that is pretty serious. Like, that's wild for Avengers movies.
And the 2 of them are called, the first one, Avengers The Kang Dynasty.
Oh my god.
And the second one is called Avengers Secret Wars.
I am so excited for that.
Yes.
That legitimately, that's the only thing getting me through this
jumps.
breakdown right now, Connor, is the fact that Secret Wars is at the end of it.
The fact, to be fair, I did the same thing where I was just looking through all the titles. I was like, oh fuck it, that's so many things. Okay, cool, yeah, like that's good. That looks pretty good. And then I seen the Kang Dynasty, and I was like, okay, yes, I'm in. Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, and then Avengers: Secret Wars came in after that. And I'm like, oh shit. Are they doing Secret Wars? Like,
they're doing
proper
Secret Wars. And I think, like, Kang Dynasty presumably is going to end with multiverses smashing together.
Yeah. And, look, I don't want to say anything, but Miles Morales is a lock-in at the point of this.
Has to be. Absolutely has to be. Who also has to be a lock-in, Connor, is Doctor Doom at that point.
Yes, because, of course, he's major in the Secret Wars storyline.
He is. He like in both Secret Wars there's been like 4 Secret Wars storylines, but in the 2 biggest ones, Doom is at the center of it. Like he is and especially in the most recent one, which I think they're probably going to base it off, he is like God of the New World kind of thing. And
so Secret Wars, I mean, in one of the earliest versions is like doesn't Kang get everyone together in... Or it's Doctor Doom gets everyone together in the battle world. It's
in the first one, it's the Beyonder, who's a guy who lives between realities, super powerful kind of thing. In the 2011 Secret Wars, basically the incursions happen, which is universes smashing into each other. Doctor Doom takes various pieces of various universes, fashions them into Battle World, and basically rules over it. And no one remembers the world before, save for a few kind of survivors who escaped on life rafts from the universe. If
you're doing the Battle World storyline, you've got Doctor Doom. I mean, you've got, like, I think Kang's going to be there. Like, he's going to be locked in. You've got all the villains they've assembled.
And any villain that was gone in the past, like people came back in Battle World.
Yeah, and so, like, if you've got all of them, I think you've got the Avengers, you've got Spider-Man, I think you've got X-Men on the opposite side. Fantastic Four as well.
Yeah, no, I think so. Like, the end... okay, spoilers for the Secret Wars comic, if anyone cares. It came out in 2011. But at the end of it, Reed Richards' kid, Franklin, he can create universes. So Fantastic Four, for a while, were written out of comics because they were off creating the multiverse.
Right.
So you can do whatever you want after Secret Wars. It's like you can make the universe into whatever it needs to be at that point.
But I will say, this is kind of Marvel calling everyone's bluff, because we're all saying, geez, they're aren't working towards a goal. They don't really have an idea in mind. And then they come and drop the fucking bomb of the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars as their end goal of Endgame Infinity War version of these phases. Like, that's where we're going. And now you know.
No, that is insane to announce that. The balls to announce, because I think we used to get the phases just like, you get phase 1, and then like 4 or 5 years later, here's phase 2.
Yeah.
And then here's phase 3. But now it's just like, and here's just everything. Here's what's happening.
Maybe the idea is that if you show all your hands straight up, it makes more sense why it's slower.
Like, maybe that's it, and you can see the pieces being put into place, maybe.
But what pieces have been put into place other than Loki? Like, Loki season 1, I think, did more work than 4 movies that they've released.
That's fair. I think Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, for all of its faults, was an accessible way for a casual Marvel fan, Marvel enjoyer, to learn about multiverses. And that they're a thing, and you can go between them, and characters are the same but different. So I think that's kind of necessary. I
think Spider-Man was more like, oh, there's the guy from the old movie, more so than like what the extent of it could be. I think our problem with Doctor Strange was it didn't show the full capability. It like kind of just dipped its toe in, but didn't actually go properly in. Maybe that's by design. They didn't want to go all out. Maybe it's going to get more and more crazy as it goes on.
Yeah, and then like America Chavez as well, I would imagine would play quite a key part in the whole incursions, because she can travel between multiverses, universes. So getting her introduced was necessary. And then like more of the Disney Plus stuff and the smaller scale stories, have kind of set up the other films in Phase 5 and 6. Like they set up the Marvels and they set up Captain America New World Order and everything like that. No mention of Armour Wars, by the way.
No, it was mention of Ironheart, but no Armour Wars.
Yeah, which is strange. But Ironheart looks to be quite good. I'm excited
will
to
it
see
pop
that.
up later on in the show, I'm assuming? But
I would say so.
I think it's pretty crazy that, like, to go from, say, Iron Man 1 to the Kang Dynasty, where you're introducing Kang and Secret Wars. I mean, if you had paid anyone at the start of this that they're like, yeah, they're going to go do Secret Wars in cinema version, like, there's going to be a movie and it's going to be introducing all 300 characters at once. Like,
there's no way you could have done, like, you could not explain that to someone.
Do you think, for example, is it still too big? Will they stick this landing? Because the first one, they not only stuck it, they fucking slam dunked and then just fucking started celebrating.
Yeah, I don't, like, God, I want them to succeed at this. Like, it
might be too big.
It might be too big. Secret Wars, I would class as a masterpiece of a comic because it unites two different comic runs, the Ultimate Universe and the mainline Marvel Universe. And it takes things that were set up for years across various comic runs, ties them all together, and reboots the universe, and everyone's happy about it. It's ridiculous that it worked.
I mean, Kang coming in, like, fucking shout, like, because he's just in Loki season 1, and it's just, for the last, I would say, 20 minutes? Is that, I think that's all he appeared in.
If even, yeah, like, he shows up right at the end, steals the show.
Oh, he kills it. But the idea that he's going to be the big bad, that he's going to cause something to bring the universes together, the multiverse is changed or it's created, there's a big battle world, and Secret Wars then has to happen.
Yeah, like, I think it's going to, like, but also what a masterstroke, like, because if Kang is the big bad of this whole saga, and he's going to pop up in Loki season 2, I imagine, probably pop up in Ant-Man. I think he's confirmed to be the villain of that. Like, with all of that happening and Kang being the big bad, and then the Kang Dynasty ends, and then the next movie, Doctor Doom is worse.
Yes,
and he's a bigger bad than Kang. That's the kind of attention that Doom needs.
Me, like, do you think they'll go Doom? Do you think, like, Doom is the big bad?
I think, how can they not do it?
Yeah.
Do Doom on this one. Like, you have Fantastic Four coming out before it, which will probably set up Doom and everything like that. But if they do a comic accurate Doom in the MCU, I'll take back everything. I won't take back everything I said about Phase 4, but I'll be a lot more content with it.
I love the villains of Miss Marvel, the clandestines.
No, I never. No one could possibly love. They're all dead for a reason.
I mean, imagine the odds you would have gotten at the start of Phase, like, even 2, to be like, Doctor Doom is going to be the villain in 2025. you know? Like, that's what's going to happen.
And is there a rough date for those two Avengers movies, or is it just that's what's happening?
So it's 2020. So May 2025 and November 2025.
That is really soon as well.
Yeah, so that's 3 years down the line. But then you also have November of 2024, Fantastic Four coming out.
That's wild.
The reboot is coming out November of 24, and then May 25 is the Avengers movie.
And what about I Am Groot Season 2? When's that
I Am Groot Season 2, I don't have a mention of. Unfortunately, I don't have that information.
That's also I'm not giving the time of day to, by the way. I don't care about that.
In 2024, Captain America New World Order is also coming out. So that's like Captain America 4 now, isn't it?
Yeah, Captain America. Yeah. Sam Wilson's first film as Captain America.
Yeah, and I think that could be pretty cool. At the same time, okay, so I have the lineup from Phase 5. So Ant-Man comes out in February next year. Guardians of the Galaxy is May next year. The Marvels is July next year. Blade is November next year. Thunderbolts isn't until July 2024. So I feel like Ant-Man in February, Guardians of the Galaxy in May, and the Marvels in July is a lot.
That is a lot. That's kind of the release schedule we had this year, wasn't it?
It was, and it was a lot. I felt like it was way too much.
Yeah, so that break between that and Thunderbolts is going to be nice.
Like, I think the only time that ever worked, and the problem was they absolutely killed it, was they did Homecoming, Ragnarok, Black Panther, Infinity War. I feel like, wasn't that it? Or was it
I think Homecoming might have been the like November.
Homecoming was
December
the previous
before.
summer, and then it was Ragnarok in like October, then Black Panther in February, and then Infinity War in April, I think. Something like that.
I think that was it, yeah.
And I just think like that all four of them fucking killed it. And I think what happened was they had 4 amazing films back to back. They're like, well, people will want to see it if we do one every 2 months. Like, no, they still have to be good, because otherwise you get what happened where Thor Love and Thunder comes out, and if it's not amazing, people are going to go extra hard the other way because they're just tired and they're just grumpy.
I think even like they're tired, and also like the last few entries haven't really done a lot towards a connected story, because you used to watch, you'd watch Captain America Winter Soldier to see what will be going on with like Hydra and where that's all moving, and what Nick Fury and Black Widow are up to and all that kind of thing. But it's just been things happening in phase 4.
So yeah, look, that is all the information we have at the minute. We just literally have titles and we've got release dates. We don't know anything. It's called the Kang Dynasty, so we could, on another week, we could talk about that for an hour in terms of what it would mean, what it would entail. But we got to move on, Sean. We do not have time this week.
It's breakneck pace this Monday.
Breakneck pace. Speaking of breakneck pace, I just wanted to cover one small story.
$1 Million Baby. Sorry.
Oh no! Oh no!
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
I was watching that movie with someone who hadn't seen it, and halfway through, I didn't tell them, Sean. I did not tell them. And
halfway, they need the experience.
They need to know the pain I felt. If you haven't seen $1 Million Baby, I'm not going to spoil it for you.
Nothing happens.
But about 3/4 of the way in, our hero runs into some trouble. And it's a harrowing experience for all. Sean, I wanted to cover Oppenheimer. Where they released a poster. So this is Christopher Nolan's newest film. And they've just released a poster. I wouldn't normally cover this, but I just once again wanted to bring up what I think might be the greatest cast ever put together of all time.
Go ahead.
And so Christopher Nolan, you've got directing, obviously. And then just, off the top of my head, just even on the poster itself, Cillian Murphy, locked in, Emily Blunt, following him, Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr., Florence Pugh. First 5 names.
My God.
Yes.
Any one of those is enough to sell cinema tickets.
I don't know how many Oscar nominations you have amongst this cast, but it's quite ridiculous. You've got Rami Malek. He's just also there. Josh Hartnett, Dane DeHaan is getting to play. Jack Quaid from The Boys. Alden Ehrenreich, Kenneth Branagh, Casey Affleck, Gary Oldman, down the list, David Krumholtz, David Dashmalian, and just many more that haven't been announced just yet.
This is absolutely insane. Also, good for Dane DeHaan and Alden Ehrenreich. This is going to be a fucking renaissance for their careers.
Look at your left and Robert Downey Jr. and to your right is Gary Oldman. And you're like, okay, cool. I'm Dane DeHaan.
Play it cool.
I'm good. I was the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Don't you know I was the Green Goblin?
And I was Han Solo that one time.
And Josh Hartnett's like, I was in Pearl Harbor, so pretty good.
What are you going to do there? No, I looked up the poster as well. It looks absolutely brilliant. It's nice to see a creative poster instead of just like, here's big head on coloured backgrounds.
You have to see all the people looking in different directions.
Yeah.
And they all have the same poster.
We're talking about Marvel again, aren't we?
Yeah, but but it's not just Marvel though, because I think every poster now, because I'm assuming, look, not to get into the weeds too much, but they probably released a poster and it did quite well online, and then a different studio went, our surveys have told us that people like this poster, then all posters are the same. That's just the way
we wrote
it goes.
an algorithm to design the perfect
exactly.
movie poster.
It's all just like, that guy, what he did worked, so we're going to do the same thing.
I'm going to copy that until people are sick of it.
Just a shout out to Oppenheimer, coming out in July 21st next year. So, like, this month next year, basically near enough to this day next year. And so hopefully it's pretty good. I can only assume it has to be. If it's bad with that cast, what are we to glean from that?
Imagine if that was a flop. Like, it would be... like Hollywood would just implode overnight.
Just crumple because there's no box office draws anymore.
Yeah, it's like, we can't compete.
Moving on to our next piece of news, Sean, and this is another trailer. And to be honest, it's kind of up in the air. I think this might be my favourite trailer of the week. It's the Dungeons and Dragons trailer, Sean.
It's quite a good trailer. It is quite a good trailer. This looks like a fun romp.
So Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. One of our patrons, Waffles, I know loves Dungeons and Dragons. So we might have to get him on to maybe give us a rundown of what everything to do with this movie is when the movie comes out. But at this point, Sean, we're just working with our own brains. I'm just looking at this as a man who's never played.
Dragons?
Yeah, you play. You're a bit of a knowledge... you're kind of like my guy who knows everything about all nerd culture.
I know a little about a lot, yeah.
Yeah, but not a lot about anything.
Not at all. No, Waffles is probably like level 20 and I'd be level 4, you know?
Right, okay. So if you're bringing this in, you're coming in with all the prior knowledge. I'm just like cash. I'm a casual fan. Probably a lot of people are watching this trailer. It got Chris Pine in it. This cast, once again...
This cast is also unreal.
Also ridiculous for a Dungeons and Dragons movie. But what are your thoughts having seen the trailer?
This looks really fun. Like, it just looks like... It doesn't feel like I thought a Dungeons and Dragons movie would feel, if that makes sense.
I thought they were going to go Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I thought they were going to double down on fantasy and darkness. But it's just like, it's just fun bullshit. Like, which is what D&D is at the end of the day.
Do you know what it is? It's Guardians of the Galaxy, but like in Game of Thrones.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Like, you have all the different like classes and characters built in there. It's they're fully going in on the world as well. Like they have like owl bears and gelatinous cubes just around the place.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, having seen the trailer, like what I want is I want you to go all out. Just fucking, if you're going to do the world and you're going to build up the world, whatever the property is, like video games or board games or whatever, if you're going to do it, you got to go all in. You can't just like do it half and then go, oh, well, we're going to just like not go as hard just in case people don't get it. No, fucking go all in, make it ridiculous, and people will like it. Because if people like the original thing, I'm assuming people will like this other thing that's coming out.
Yeah, and I think I said when we were first talking about this movie, when it was first announced, I was like, I don't know if it'll work because Dungeons and Dragons is a game all about choice and how you make your own story. But I think doing it this way is the way to go, where I don't know what could happen in this movie. Like, they could do literally anything, and I'd be fine with that.
And I genuinely was not expecting anything, and it was like, Dungeons and Dragons trailer dropped, and I was like, that cast is really good. I'm just going to take a look at this, see what it's like. Yeah. And I just was watching it going, this looks fun. It looks like a romp.
And I think, like, there's a moment, and I think, like, Roger John Page... I think he like throws a sword, but he keeps hold of the handle and there's a dagger inside it or something.
Yeah.
Like, there's just... It's wild
you got Chris Pine, you got Michelle Rodriguez.
Chris Pine as just a bard, by the way.
Yeah, he's just a bard, but also he's bringing the Pine charm. Like, he's going all in on the Pine charm.
He's like... It's Captain Kirk in Guardians of the Galaxy Game of Thrones.
Róisín, Jean Page, and then you also have Hugh Grant, who's the villain. And I mean, like, look, Hugh will chew scenery all day if you give it to him. He doesn't give a fuck. And so, like, even just the cast itself, excellent. And what I love is just, as I said, it didn't take itself too seriously. Could have been very easily, we're going to have like a gruesome, dark one. World of Warcraft style. We're going to make this properly, just, so serious. Let's just make it a bit of a... Look, the tone itself, from the moment this trailer starts, I was like, I'm in. Okay, what is this? Like, it perked my interest up.
And they're doing like a reverse heist in this movie as well. That they were hired, they did a job, which is a very Dungeons and Dragons, like, you meet in a tavern, here's your job, go do the thing. And then they're like, and it's like the aftermath of like, we just gave that to a really bad dude. Yeah. We should fix that. Like, and then they have to go steal it back.
It's Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like, we're just kind of mercenaries, but we just kind of did a bad thing. We should probably do a good thing to make up for it.
Yeah, because we're not evil. Like, he's evil, and we're not evil.
Yeah, what's the line from Guardians of the Galaxy? It's like, I'm a dick, but I'm not a complete asshole.
Yeah, something like that.
But like, I just, haven't seen this. This might be my pick of next year of like, this is an underrated one. I think this could be good, but I'm going to put all my chips on it.
Yeah, I think it'll do well enough in the cinemas. I also think this is going to do really well when it hits like streaming and things like that.
I would be worried that it won't do well in the cinema, just because I don't think these types of movies get watched anymore.
But Sonic did really, really well, just by word of mouth of how good it was.
That is true. Word of mouth, they kind of underestimate still of like how good it is, but you see it a lot in, even, I mean, not to go on the Marvel movies, but like any movie, like Morbius, whatever. They normally get like big opening day, second day. Then the drop is normally fairly fucking severe if it's a bad movie, and it does it stays steady if it's good.
Because people have a limited amount of time and money, and so if they hear that something is not worth either their time or worth their money or worth both, they're just not going to engage with it. But if they're like, no, this is 2 hours, it's really fun, and it's just it's a good time, they'll be, okay, I'll give it a try. And then they'll tell another person. I just
think this might be the least, like, nobody predicted this to be good, and having seen this trailer, I'm like, holy shit, what if it's good? What are we going to do if Dungeons and Dragons is good?
For a trailer like that, for a movie that's not coming out for a while, the effects look quite good in this as well.
Yeah, exactly. Especially like the effects of specific things that are just related to the game. It's not generic monsters. It's specifically aimed towards the game itself.
It has to match an aesthetic and an art style. Yeah. And it has to fit in the world with real humans as well.
Could this be the best video game, board game adaptation to movie we've ever seen?
I think in contention for the board game adaptation, it's like this and then Battleship, right?
That is Rihanna's finest piece of acting. So, I mean, Battleship, pretty strong entry. But, but I would throw in board games in with the video games. So what have we got? We got... we'd Sonic and we'd Detective Pikachu.
Pretty good. Both of them.
I think this could be better than them.
I think it could. You got Assassin's Creed, certainly going to be better than that.
I mean, you always remember Assassin's Creed, Michael Fassbender's finest hour.
Brendan Gleeson just pops up. It's great.
He's there. So look, if you haven't seen this trailer, we're going to give you a recommendation. Go watch it. It's 2 minutes of a romp. You might like it. You might think it looks shit. I can't tell you what to think. But it's releasing
the job of a trailer, which it makes me want to watch the movie.
Exactly.
Unlike Shazam.
March 3rd next year. We're moving on to our next piece of news. And this was a news story that mostly just annoyed me.
Okay.
And did you hear the news about Marvel and its cameo rules and how it pays the creators?
I think I heard like a headline of this, which is it's based on percentage of time in the movie or something like that.
This is just a small story that, look, I don't want to rag, but if bad things are happening, we need to call it out, because it's just not great, because they're going to get a lot of positive publicity this week, lots of cool things being revealed, but also important to know the people who created the comic book characters should probably be paid the right amount for those characters.
And in some cases, they should be invited to the premiere.
Exactly. But so you come up with a character, say, for example, you have Sebastian Stan. I mean, he has a character in the MCU, Shaun, does he not?
He does indeed. He plays Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier.
Barnes, the Winter Soldier, yes. And he was... Can you remember the Civil War movie?
Familiar with it, yes.
Do you remember how in-depth he was into that film? Like how...
He was central to the plot. He made two of the best friends in the Avengers, Tony Stark and Captain America, fight so much that they broke up the Avengers at the end.
And he was the driving force of the whole third act.
Oh, absolutely, Connor.
Yeah. Well, the cameo rules that Marvel work off is if the character, you've created Bucky Barnes, Sean.
Good for me.
And he's your character. Marvel, like, we'd like to put him in a movie. You're thinking, fucking ka-ching, perfect. I've created him. I get the rights to him. It's perfect. The rule is if he appears at 15% or less of the movie's runtime, then he is classified as a cameo. And they don't gotta pay you big bucks because they just gotta pay you cameo money. Bucky Barnes is not in 15% of Civil War. He is in 22 minutes of the 2 hours and 28 minutes of the runtime of Captain America Civil War. Meaning that the creator of Bucky Barnes did not get anything other than a cameo payment from Marvel due to their rules. Not great.
It's pretty scummy business practice right there. I'm fairly sure if you work it out, Chris Evans isn't in 15% of Infinity War.
That's the way it works out. Like, you can just do that for any movie. Like, because all these characters, you just have so many characters. Especially in Civil War, you're showing Spider-Man, you're showing everyone, that you gotta bounce around. So, like, even Endgame, like, you're bouncing constantly between worlds or between places, or Infinity War. Those people might not be in 15% of the movie.
It's just a really shitty rule that, like Marvel has no incentive to change it either, and I'm sure they're perfectly within their rights to do it. But when most of your IP depends on characters that were created and written over years and years and years in such a way that they were endeared to fans enough for you to justify putting them in a multi-million-dollar film, maybe the people who created them should get more of a financial thank you for that.
Why I've kind of brought this up is obviously lots of positive stuff coming out, but what I've noticed anyway in the last few weeks and months is there are rumblings in terms of, like, the Hollywood Reporter is brought out a few months ago in terms of the VFX people being overworked and underpaid. And then you've also now got comic creators kind of coming out saying, lads, we're not really getting paid enough. Is this a trend that maybe something behind the scenes might be wrong? I mean, it's a massive company. Or people just seeing the gravy boat, Sean, they want to jump in. What's the story?
No, I think there's been enough stories over the last while, especially around the VFX stuff, where, like, there's a bidding war to bid the lowest for the job, and you do, the idea being is that you can bid lower because you're working on a Marvel movie. You're going to get to show off your skills. It'll be great exposure, but then you don't have the money or the time, and Marvel keep changing things last minute, so you're not able to make those VFX look as good as they can, and so you're goosed because now you've done lower quality effects than you're capable of for less money, so you have nothing to show for it at the end. And so that kind... Go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, I think Disney have billions upon trillions. Just pay people.
That's the thing. They have more than enough money to do all of this.
Just give them an extra $100.
God. Like, yeah. Just put money in the hands of the creative people who you're employing to make the things that make you money. And those things will be better and they will make you more money.
I think wasn't there the bit with the Thor trailer where it had the shot that was exactly like the comic books, but then the comic book, the artist who came up with that panel didn't get any pay, and they just nothing. Like copied it.
Like, it's ridiculous. Like, it's terrible carry on, and it's like, if it was happening in a smaller company, there would absolutely be war over it. But because it's Marvel and Disney, they're fucking bulletproof, it seems. But the more people talk about it and the more people bring these things to light, maybe something will get done about it in the future.
Yeah, look, and we're not going to change it here, but I just think it's important people know that's going on behind the scenes. Maybe that kind of maybe that's kind of having an impact on a little bit of our, what I was going to say, fatigue that because me and you were kind of like, we're reading this, like I especially read this every week, and it makes it harder to be like, wow, what a cool thing, when you're just like, oh, they're not paying people. Be nice to people.
That's the thing, is that like, because we love a lot of the content, and we certainly love a lot of the stories that the content comes from. But when
we're just about to talk about a piece of content that they released in a trailer.
Yeah, but like, it has to be said that like, no company is perfect. No company is your friend either.
Eat the rich.
No, eat the rich. It exists to separate the workers from the means of production. It's a whole thing. But don't ever think just because we like comic books and comic book characters that we think Marvel are, I suppose, immune to being dickheads.
Also, not just Marvel, Warner Brothers, most of this year, they're going to pay, if they can pay you less, they're going to pay you less.
Oh yeah, anyway, that goes for the entirety of your life, by the way. Know your worth. Okay.
Good on the people speaking out. Keep fucking speaking out. So, look, we're finishing off this week, Shaun, with the Black Panther trailer, a piece of content from the studio of Disney. And so Marvel released Wakanda Forever. The trailer came out at San Diego Comic-Con. Obviously, with the sad passing of Chadwick Boseman, we knew this was going to be changed quite a lot from the original plan. He, of course, obviously was Black Panther in the first one, so he sadly passed away in between films. What can you do? Having seen this trailer, what are your thoughts on this new movie?
It looks it's a tough line to walk, because you're like there. So the trailer shows like the funeral of T'Challa, it seems, or at least a period of mourning going on, and it's very tough to do that tastefully when the actor has also passed away, and to not feel like you're cashing in on any of that. But I feel like Ryan Coogler is going to do a good job handling that side of things. And as for where it goes in the future, then it seems to be some kind of attack by Atlantis is the main conflict of the film. So.
Oh, you thought Kang was going to be the only intro of this new phase? No.
No.
We're not just doing multiverses. There's now Atlanteans, Aquaman style, but it's Namor the Conqueror. Not Namor the Conqueror.
The Submariner.
The Submariner. Kang is the Conqueror.
Yeah. Love the look, by the way, of Namor. They're going more of an Aztec style.
It's interesting because I think because they know T'Challa's not going to be there, they can go way more in on Namor. And I think that was probably a lot of the changes in the script, because they're thinking maybe they were just going to do a little bit of Namor and he's going to pop up. But now they can do a full origin. Like, we can see him being born, we can see him grow up, we can like concentrate on him as well and have it a 50-50 movie. To why is he attacking? Why do we need to learn why he hates these people? Why does he want to come to land? What have they done to him? Yeah,
and it you could get some cool parallels from that, because like Wakanda could be seen as like a people without a king at the minute kind of a deal.
Yeah.
Whereas Namor a lot of the time in the comics is like a king without a people. He's often, banished from Atlantis and stuff like that.
Oh, because Namor dickhead in the comics.
Absolute prick.
We throw him in with Reed Richards. He is, oh boys, not a nice man.
Raring arsehole. So I think that could be a cool balance to strike. And in terms of we do see someone wearing the Black Panther suit in this. So in terms of passing on the mantle, I don't know how that's going to be handled.
I'm assuming it'll be Shuri.
Say so.
I can only assume Queen Ramonda will pass it on to her and be like, you are...
She's killing it, by the way.
Oh yeah, when she's screaming, have I not given everything, as she talks about losing all of her family. I'm like, yes.
She's lost everything, this woman.
I thought this trailer was really excellent. For a trailer that didn't need to go this hard. Ryan Coogler is amazing at choosing the right songs. The right songs to what really got the first Black Panther trailers across was just the songs in general. I think it was the second trailer that it ends, isn't it halfway through, where you see the shot of him dropping out of the plane. I don't know which trailer that was, but that was the one everyone got so hyped about, because I was like, this is so well done in terms of music, shots, all working together. It's really good directing. Just whoever put together the trailer, really excellent stuff, because the songs really get across as an audience, we know Chadwick Boseman has passed away. We also know they've now got to deal with it. They've got a sequel coming out. We're kind of with them. If they want to go with this way and be like, look, the king has passed away. Like, it's kind of similar to the vibe, I think, Fast and Furious. And like, say, like, I think it was like 8 or is it 7 when they had the shot of like Vin Diesel and like driving separate directions at the end. Oh
yeah, with Paul Walker.
Yeah, Paul Walker. And like, you had that moment where the audience are going to be with you. Like, because we all know it's like you can't film it. Like, we're not going to say, wow, this movie's shit because like the man who plays the character just was not there.
Yeah,
what can you do?
This thing that's out of your hands like really affects the quality of the film. And like, I think the story could work, and I would like it to be a good send off as well as a good movie, you know. So like, very selfishly of me, I'm just like, I want to watch a good movie, and it's going to be the end of Phase 4, so presumably there's going to be some kind of tease at the end.
I think Namor is the tease. I
don't know.
I think it might end on that.
Can I make one of my famous calls?
Oh, we're going to go famous call. Go for it.
Doom.
You think Doom's going to pop up?
I think we're going to see Doom in this movie.
Oh, shit.
Because I think it's going to be... Because, like, the king of Wakanda died. I think world leaders are going to pay their respects.
Yes.
And so I think the ruler of Latveria might show up.
He might stick his hand up and say, well, if you need a leader, lads, I'm around. Like, I'm a nice guy.
I'm here. I just think it's a... I think that would build hype for the next phase.
You know what? I think it might be an after credits scene though. I don't know if it's going to be.
That's fine. Like, he doesn't have to show up and interact with anyone. He can just like it can just be someone bringing in a letter on a tray, being like, "Oh, the Queen of Wakanda sends her regards."
Yeah, you could also have a like. I mean, in this one, it's going to be very much Namor is going to try and take over Wakanda.
Yeah,
he's like, "I'm going to lead you. If you got nobody to lead you, I'm going to lead you." And Shuri's like, well, no, our family lead this place. Like, even though T'Challa's not here, I'm fucking here. Like, you got to go through me.
I wonder what brought Namor out of kind of hiding, I suppose. Or
yeah, why hasn't he popped out before? Like, what was surely half of his people also disappeared with Thanos. Could be.
God, I don't like. There's mention of an earthquake in Endgame. They mentioned an earthquake off the coast of Wakanda.
Okay.
So that could be it. Could be the big fucking eternal hand that popped out of the sea.
They'll never mention that again.
No, that's never being addressed. Like it is quite strange. In the comics, like, he got involved because, like, you know, Nazi U-boats were bombing Atlantis, basically.
Makes sense.
That's why he got involved in humans fighting. Do you think he'll have fought in World War II in this?
No. I think they'll make him like a young... He wants to lead everything. Like, maybe his people don't like him, so he's like... I think it's more interesting if he's leading them. Like, if it is like a full-on war. But they might also just do the fact that they don't like him either. Like... He's on his own. He's not one of us. He's not one of ye. He's just a dickhead who just nobody likes, and he thinks he's the king of everywhere that he goes. I think it really looks great. I think there's a lot of very, very talented people working on this, and the first movie made a shit ton of money and it was really good. So I think this one, we kind of all assumed, geez, the setback of, I mean, you lose your main character. That could put anything on the back foot. It might make... You got to change the whole script. You got to change all that stuff. Obviously, none of that is as important as the poor man and his life. But if we're just looking in terms of production-wise or the sequel quality, it's kind of amazing that it looks like this. It looks that good. That this trailer came out, I was like, oh shit, this is going to be good. Like, because not reservations, but I was like, I'm interested to see where they go.
Yeah, I was certainly tempering my expectations about it. Just because of everything going on. But it looks really good. I'm really excited. Also,
Ironheart's in this.
Ironheart is in this. We see Ironheart. Yes. I mean, great. Like, it makes sense that she would, like, go to Shuri if anyone doesn't know who's Ironheart, Sean. Ironheart is Riri Williams. She is a young teenager who made her own Iron Man style armour so that she could fight crime. She's a genius. Like, on the level of I think Shori might be like technically one of the smart, a bit smarter, but she's certainly like Peter Parker level smart, which is huge.
Like, she's like a genius, but she's not like Shori. I think is like top 3 in Marvel.
Yeah, I think it's like Shori, Mr. Fantastic, and maybe Iron Man, depending on how much he's drinking at the time. And
it depends how long he's had. The more he drinks, the smarter he becomes, I think. How much do you think she'll be in this film? I don't know if she's going to have a massive part.
No, I think she might be brought in, like, she might have like an apprentice kind of role. Do you know, I don't
Yeah, and she wants to impress Shori. And so maybe she pops up in the last fight scene with the suit. And she's like, I figured out how to work it, and I'm going to help out because like you're in the full suit.
Yeah, I think that could be a way to go. I think it's a nice time to intro her and then expand on it more in her own series.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we kind of covered everything, Shaun. I mean, there's so many other things we haven't talked about, but we'll probably get to them next week. But yeah, they're the kind of big things coming out of Hall H, I would say.
Yeah, they're the headlines. And look, yeah, obviously, like over the next week, more news will be dropping. That's the way these things work. So we'll check back if there's any major updates or any changes. We'll update that in the future Movie Mondays, I'm sure. But for now, would you like me to take us out, Connor?
I would like you to have a continuing existential crisis for probably another 4 or 5 episodes, I would say. Just another few weeks.
I can pencil that in.
I want to see where it goes. I want to find the last week you're like, no, I fucking hate movies.
I hate podcasts? No.
Yeah, please take us out, Shaun.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of Movie Mondays. We will be back on Wednesday with Weird News Wednesdays, Friday with Hero or Zero, and next Monday with another episode of Movie Mondays. Big thank you to everyone who supports us over on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Link to that in the description. And shout-outs, of course, go to Waffles, the marvellous god of thunder and syrup, Ciara Lawler, David Clarke, Ed Ball, Joe Burney, Róisín the wife Palmer, Ryan technically fine Evanson, Shaun Chuck in the wash and it'll be grand Jamieson, Dominic, Jessiah Florida Gal Green, Anna Hjelmroos, Lil Dicky, come stay where the dogmen play, McGrew, Danny McLaughlin, Ray, the fabulous Frogman, Sam, Michelle Browne, Michaela Doughty, Sackman41, Frost and Buster. Thank you all so much for the continued support. You're absolutely amazing humans, and we hope you enjoy all the content that we do put up over on the Patreon. Other ways to support the show then, there is the merch store link below, heroesforhire.ie/shop. Twitter is @heroesforhirepod, the 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Detective Divilment's discussion group. Instagram is Heroes for Hire podcast. And the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
And I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I've been Connor Long.
I've been Shaun Neal.
I shall see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.